The bar was loud that Friday night, the jukebox humming with old country tunes, glasses clinking, and laughter rolling like smoke. But the moment the lady in black leather boots swung open the doors, the whole place seemed to shift. Everyone knew her, Victoria Kane, the billionaire biker who owned half the town's land but never cared much for boardrooms. She preferred her Harley, her independence, and the thrill of riding with the wind. People whispered about her, arrogant, untouchable, reckless, but no one dared say it to her face. She was halfway through her second drink when it happened. A tall man brushed past her on his way to leave, carrying a tray of half-empty fries and a plate of chicken wings. He wore an old flannel shirt, the sleeves rolled at the cuffs, the fabric threadbare from years of use. A group of rowdy bikers laughed too loud near the door, and one of them bumped into the man, spilling beer across his chest. Before he could react, Victoria stood. She stepped forward, yanked a rag off the counter, and without asking, reached for his shirt. "You'll stink of cheap lager if you don't clean that quick," she muttered. She tugged at the soaked flannel, ripping it at the seam in her rush. The fabric tore clean open, exposing the man's chest. And that's when the bar went silent. On his skin, inked bold and fierce, was the eagle, globe, and anchor, the emblem of the United States Marine Corps. The tattoo wasn't just art. It was worn, scarred, carrying stories no one dared to ask about. For the first time in years, Victoria froze. The man, embarrassed, tried to cover up, but it was too late. The bar wasn't staring at her anymore. They were staring at him. He cleared his throat. "Name's Daniel," he said softly, adjusting his torn shirt. "Single dad. Served 2 tours." He glanced at the floor. "Now I just cook and clean to keep the lights on for my little girl." The tough laughter that usually filled the place faded. Even the rowdy bikers lowered their eyes. Victoria, whose fortune could buy the whole bar 10 times over, suddenly felt small. She caught something in Daniel's voice, a weight she couldn't name, but recognized. Loneliness. Struggle. Pride wrapped in silence. The silence stretched until a small voice broke it. From a booth in the corner, a little girl with messy blonde curls peeked out. "Daddy?" Daniel turned, his entire hardened demeanor softening instantly. "It's okay, Lily. Finish your fries." Victoria's chest tightened. She had all the wealth in the world, but not once had she seen someone love so fiercely with so little. Without thinking, she raised her glass. "To the man who carried the flag so we can drink in peace," she said, her voice steady. "To the Marine." One by one, glasses lifted. The bar erupted in cheers. But Daniel's eyes stayed on hers, uncertain, guarded, almost suspicious of kindness. After the noise settled, Victoria slipped a business card into his hand. "I run a foundation for veterans. Jobs, housing, healthcare, you name it. If you'll let me, I want to help." Daniel hesitated, his pride warring with his reality. But then Lily climbed out of the booth and tugged at his hand. "Daddy," she whispered, "maybe this time we say yes." That broke him. His eyes glistened, and for a moment, the Marine was just a father. He nodded. "All right." Victoria didn't smile often, but that night, she did. Not the cold, untouchable smile people saw in magazines, but something real, something human. The bar went back to its music and laughter, but the moment lingered. Strangers had been reminded of sacrifice. A billionaire had been humbled by a veteran's quiet dignity. And a little girl had unknowingly changed the course of her father's life. Outside, the roar of motorcycles echoed into the night, but inside, a different sound carried, a shared heartbeat of gratitude and hope. Because sometimes, kindness doesn't come from grand gestures. Sometimes, it starts with a ripped shirt, a scarred tattoo, and the courage to say yes when life offers you another chance.